I've been building my own fantasy world through pixel art for almost a decade now. Today I wanted to show you guys some of the work that went into it and some of the short stories that go along to shaping this fantasy world. I think it was like 8 years ago when Inktober was a big thing, but I wanted to take the prompts of Inktober and the concept of it, of being consistent for an entire month, and apply it to pixel art illustrations. Well, just pixel art. I really didn't have anything specific in mind of what it was going to be, which shape it would have. But in the end, this triggered, like I said, almost a decade-long work of just building on top of the basis of the world and doing that through short stories, through pixel art illustrations, through just going crazy with playlists of what the soundtrack of each area of the world would sound like. So yeah, today I wanted to show you guys the very beginning of that. I will show you 2 stories and 2 illustrations from the first batch, the really old ones, so please don't judge too hard on the art. And also 2 of the more recent ones, the ones that have like a year or 2 or 3 years. Also, this wasn't like the official Inktober list, but people over Tumblr had a lot of different lists and thematics, so I think I chose a forest one. So yeah, the day 1 prompt was The Old Man, and that's the title of the very first opening story and opening illustration that set the base and the platform for the world to just keep growing and expanding. This is The Old Man. The people of the forest proudly tell the tale of the Old Man, as they call him, their first chosen leader. When the beings beyond the clouds attacked and invaded of peace. The windy leaves all over the forest stopped singing as the metal and foreign claw pierced through the leader's soft stomach. His corpse, now a grave corrupted by nature. It is said that the very flower he held still lives, its petals evergreen, and that every single blood drop bloomed. Wow, I still like it to this day. It's a little bit basic, both the short story and the pixel illustration, but I still remember it with such kindness because it was the very first starting point for everything. So I still liked it. I think this gave me a lot more ambition and it made me more courageous with my pixel art journey. Maybe I could redo it someday, imagine it in like an actual setting, because I think I picture this being in a huge forest, being surrounded by a lush greenery and a lot of flowers and a lot of everything. I want to picture that the people of this forest in the end survived. This marked them and it's part of their history forever. But I want to picture this as like a nice grave. That people remember this figure as the one who defended them, you know? So, or maybe this is his blood is what allowed the whole forest to bloom and to have all of these beautiful flowers. Maybe the act of kindness and protection and the power behind that is what made the forest more powerful. The second story that I have from those days, it's one that I hold really close to my heart actually. This made me discover that I have a bit of a fixation with the ocean and the themes of water. I'm not really I don't like the beach, I don't like the pool. I'm not a fan of water, but I don't know why the themes of water or being underwater, the colors, the muffled sounds, like the whole idea of being underwater is very compelling to me in an art kind of way. And this next one is what kind of made me discover that. It's a bit dark, so sorry. This is also day 4 of the prompts of that Inktober, and it's called The Ancient Wizard. In quotation marks. What happens to those mages previously chosen by the almighty Grimoire when a new one emerges? The townfolk say they stay gathered deep down the Lake of Wisdom, watching over the forest. That's bullshit. Almost all of their magic already mixed with their whole bodies, is sucked dry, rendering them unable to do anything. And then they are thrown into the deep abyss of the lake. Oh, but the tiny bit of magic that's left pumps just enough fuel to keep them alive, to force them to experience everlasting pain as they sink, drowning. Do not trust the old gods, people. Quotation marks. This is anonymous message number 1. Multiple copies were scattered all over the main plaza. Wow, I love this one. I love both the short story, I love the illustration. It feels a bit basic to me now because back then I used 128 by 128 canvas for my pixel art, and it's not really that complex, but the theme works perfectly for me. I think in this small canvas it still works amazing to showcase a figure drowning. So you can see the light, but he's falling. There's a lot of other corpses just floating underwater or forever falling in this lake, but they're still alive. They're just cursed to be here. Or not cursed, just thrown here. The people in power, the people who are setting the rules in this society in how they control or share or manage over magic in this fantasy world, they chose this fate for public figures that they push themselves, disposed in a very cruel way for them to always drown. This is also the catalyst of one of the main characters of my world to start her journey. She was an apprentice to one of these mages, but yeah, we can go over her in a different video, but yeah, I still love this one. This one is very, very powerful. The next one is not of the Inktober. So the Inktober happened, I think, in 2017, and this one is from 2022. It's 5 years later. This is still about world building this safe mythology and the same fantasy. These events are a bit more in the future. This one is related. You will see the themes. We're still working with water. This comes from one of my favorite places in the world, which is the Drowned Empire. This introduces new characters to the story as well. This one is called Empress Tilla invading the shores of Osha. After the Drowned Empire was brought back to life by the powerful corrupted mage, Princess Tilla joined forces with her and staged a coup to assassinate her brother and claim the throne. The power couple would then proceed to breed a ferocious army that would turn the empire into a global threat again. Now it's just a matter of time before the other fearful factions get attacked from underneath. Oh. I love this one. I love this one. Actually, I have a huge 1 meter by 1 meter portrait of this in my home. I like the way the illustration came out. I love the main character design in this theme and setting. She's corrupting the waters as she moves. Does she want to do that? Is she being forced to do it? Is she corrupted? This is a canonical event in the world that will set a lot of conflict in action. So this is one of the big modern things that's going on with the world. It's a combination of these ancient royal figures plus a corrupted mage. We'll talk about her in the future, but she's also really powerful, and she's not from down beneath. She's not coming from the Drowned Empire, but she found it, she revived it, and as an alliance they're going to take over everything they want. Why? We don't know yet. They don't just want to conquer everything. There are reasons, but we shall find out in the future. And the last one that I want to share with you guys, it's very special, it's very cute. This one is also from 2022, and it's called Woven Dust Constellation. One of the water courses branching from the lunar valley finds its way to the magical Woven Dust Lake. Not many souls are worthy of laying eyes on this hidden wonder of the Northwest people. A rare blend of the Calonian warmth with the Samitian pristine. There were, however, centuries ago, a couple of outsiders that made their way to this water. Legend says that along the way, two lovers were guided by 8 stars until they reached the oniric woven dust lake. That was the first time they met, but it was enough to feel it was meant to be. As if destiny had been working behind the scenes, pulling its strings to weave the lives of two lost souls. The magical waters of the lake danced as the lovers touched for the very first time. They would never be alone anymore. No need to keep running away. They would miss their homes forever, but also build a new one together. The lake gives its name to the constellation the 8 guiding stars create when connected, which many say its shape resembles a heart. This is very special to me. This is the most recent one. This is lovely. It's not as dark. It's a story of hope. It's a folk tale of love, of the stars. So Kalon was a desert and is now the Great Sea. Summit is a big area in the world with mountains and ice, and they are deeply connected to religion and to the origin of the world and the first creatures that live within it and the gods they revere, etc. These two lovers come from different backgrounds. They are not in their own lands anymore. They don't have a place to call home, but they find someone to call their home, and they build a new space for them, a safe space for them together. Sadly, this project, this world, is a bit dormant right now. I haven't abandoned it, but it's been a long time since I last did something for it. But doing this video, reading my stories again, going back to them, especially to the earlier ones, again, it's been so long since I last read them and experienced them, and doing that again has reignited my love and hope for this world, and for these characters, and for all the music that I picture in this world. So yeah, maybe next video will just be like a process video of me doing something new with this. We can always go back and check other stories, there's a bunch of them. So yeah, thank you for being here, and let me know if you would like to hear more about this world, if you're curious about any character, any specific place of this world. But yeah, thank you very much for being here. Bye bye!